All right, so for this assignment, we're going to do some framing using Google Drawings. And you're going to need a couple files here. So the digital lumberyard, when you click on that, will open up a file like this. And you may want to create a copy of this digital lumberyard for yourself, so you've got it in easy access. And then the second link is going to open up the diagrams that we worked on yesterday. So this is the first wall that we did some basic framing with. So if we take some time to go over this lumberyard, basically what you're looking at is you're looking at a bunch of different stuff. Hopefully these terms look familiar to you that we use for framing walls. At the top here we have a measuring tape that is 12 feet long. If I make this a bit bigger, there we go, 12 feet long. And the red lines are every 12 inches, so that equals every foot. And then the black lines are roughly every 16 inches, and you'll see how this works when we use it for our framing. Over on the side here, we have our different framing pieces, and basically these things are represented on how we would typically see them. So for a floor framing, we typically look from top down. So we're seeing this from the top view. This is our sill seal, that pink thing that rolls out, and it's just made to a certain length, actually 8 feet. And then these are our sill plates, so the 2x6 material that we would lay flat. Okay, and each of these is a different length. So this is an 8-foot piece, this is a 10-foot piece, a 12, and a 16. All of this stuff is drawn to 1 inch equals 1 foot. So if we go to format, go to size, you'll see that this is an 8-foot piece, and it's 0.3 inches wide. 2x6 is 5.5 inches, so not quite half an inch there. And then below that, we have some rim joists or joists, floor joists. So this is the 1.5 inch width of the 2x material. So this is 5.5, this is 1.5 inches, so 0.13 inches. Again, 8, 10, 12. And I don't really have to make these a certain length because you can just grab them and make them any length you want. But they're done that way because those are our typical lengths that we buy. And we've got our subfloor, we've got beam structure we won't need for this. And over here in our wall framing, we've got our headers. Talked about them briefly yesterday. Again, a 2x4 header, 2x6 header, 2x8 header, and they can be made as long as we need them to be made to use for our framing. Okay, and then our studs. So an 8-foot stud and a 92 and 5/8. We'll talk a little bit more about the different lengths there. 8 feet is the regular 8 feet, but we don't use that for an 8-foot wall because then the wall is actually taller than 8 feet. So how this works is if you're going to frame a wall, open up your wall, and the first thing we're going to do is going to copy this measuring tape from here over to here, and it ends up way over there. So whoops, I want to take this measuring tape and place it down here. Okay. So I don't think this wall is actually to scale. Let's just see what size this wall is. It's only 6 feet high and 10 foot wide. That's fine. It'll be a short wall. It'll still allow us to do the framing that we need. Okay. So like you did yesterday, we're going to put top and bottom plates on this wall. So we'll go over to the digital lumberyard. We can grab some studs if we want and rotate them, or we can just grab a joist. So that's a 10-foot wall. So I'm going to grab a 10-foot joist, copy, and paste it over here. And I'm going to put it here as a bottom plate. Line it up as best I can. Copy, Control C, Control V, and drag it to the top. Okay, so now I have my top and bottom plate for my wall. I need some studs to put in here every 16 inches. So let's just grab the short one, copy that, paste that, it ends up way over there. So we'll shrink this a little bit, drag it over to here. Okay. These files weren't meant to do this, but I just want you to go through this process anyways. And then zoom in, maybe that's too far, and grab the end of this and drag it down below. Okay, so that your 2x4 should be on top of your bottom plate and then below your top plate. I'm going to pause there.